One and all, hope you're doing well. First day now, we've got BOE today, so we need to keep an eye on pound crosses. This is the risk sentiment overview for the 4th of August 2022. The SSI value is -6, so what's happening is that number is moving away from zero, and the greater that number moves, then it tells us that they're becoming more bearish. So if that number goes towards zero, they're buying the dips. If the number goes away from zero, they're selling the rips, and we want them to sell because we want things to go up. Right, so we want to do the opposite of those retail guys. It seems the recent Taiwan news helped, and also they're also trying to get those COVID fears back in again, so that's going to help with the risk calculation. And so that's that. VIX has been crushed, and they're shorted indices, which I'll show you in a bit. And so that's just a little description of the SSI and how to interpret that data. The 24-hour difference is the dynamic shifting over time. This is the big picture. So whenever I refer to the big picture, this is what I mean. This cell here, and this is the dynamic value. We want that to confirm the big picture. Okay, so green, green, green. Yeah, the yields aren't very good. Admittedly, that's we want a steepening. We don't want to see an inversion, and that's like a clear inversion where we've got the short dated going down, the long dated going down, but the mid up. So it's actually creating an inverse U. It's not particularly healthy. Let's get rid of that. It's kind of annoying. So yeah, we're getting quite a strong inversion there. You can see it's supposed to be a diagonal line, not a curvature. And also what I'm going to do is make this bulletin a little bit quicker, because I want to just talk about the indices quickly for a minute at the end. German 30 made a buy, and they sold it because of the Gazprom thing, which would make sense, and they've been selling it since Tuesday. I'll show you a DAX chart and see what's happened with price action. It's quite amazing. And so we had the heads up on that ages and ages ago, well, from Tuesday. Euro yen is fairly okay sell, but remember we want the sells to match, and they're not matching. Oil is matching for a sell. And Aussie, I was saying yesterday it was the weak link, and it's lagging out, and dollar Swiss is leading, so the Swiss is actually really conceded, and it's possibly helping the lift the market sentiment as well. So keep an eye on the dollar Swiss. It might be a good one, although we've moved quite a bit already. Average bubbles, now we've got the Swiss weak and the Kiwi strong. So currently at this time, when I made this bulletin an hour ago, we were up, well, it had made 30 pips. Obviously we didn't catch the move because you mean waking up at 12 AM and I wake up at 8 AM. So obviously if you do wake up early and you want to join us, it could be quite good, and you'll catch this huge move. And what happens at the beginning of the night, well, at 11 o'clock, the bubbles will align on this axis, and when the retail guys decide to buy or sell, then we see a direct consequence on the bubbles. So they shorted the Kiwi, and then they've longed the Swiss franc, so we get the Kiwi Swiss, and so 40 pips up. So every single day this is proven to work, so we'll have to wait and see what happens tomorrow. We've got NFP tomorrow, so it might be a little bit of a payday potentially. And that's how we stand. So you can just look at this. If you're a Quasidb subscriber, you can just look at the bulletin that I post in the Discord. Okay. And also, by the way, next week this won't be for public consumption. This will just be like join Discord. So this will be the last time that you guys see it as public viewers. You'll have to join us in Quasidb to see the strong versus weak, because obviously you can use this data, and it's not fair. So S&P's made a buy, so up we come, and this is a risky sell. Well, yeah, it's a risky sell because we're a buy at the high level. If they buy it, then we'll fall. So be careful there. And US 30, I'm not sure if you can see that, but basically I was saying it made a buy, and there it was, up we come, and we did rally 344 points from yesterday when I said it was a buy. Okay, so buy, and then up we come. That move is 344 points. So you would have done quite nicely. That could be enough for a week, to be honest with you. If you were sufficiently sized, that's a good result. Just in 24 hours, just using this one piece of analysis. And there's not many technical charts. It's just using this sentiment. Okay, so it's nice and easy, dead simple, very simple logic, and that the retail guys are counter trend. All right. German 30. This is what I was saying at the beginning. We knew it was a buy since Tuesday, and obviously they went short, and we had the buy here because we actually they sold it. Where did we get the? Oh, there. They sold it against the 21 moving average here. Okay, so we had the heads up here, and then they switched on their bias, which Andy pointed out in the Discord that they were, we flipped over 50%, and we certainly did, and then they got caught. And are they going to get out of their trades? No, they'll hold on to losses. Of course they will, because that's what they do. Up we come, and then it's going to blow them up, right? Gold made a buy. It's a risky buy because at the high level it's a sell, but they're reducing that exposure. Now, if we cost 50% at a high level, it's going to be a buy. We're only 5% away, or so I say 6% away for this to become a buy. Okay, so the continued short, up will come. There's the liquidity targets, which as like I can say, you can see in Discord. You can just check that document. Largest mover was gold. Largest stop loss cluster is AU, and that's the target there. It's lower and larger than yesterday, so they moved their stops lower and the size got larger. The key here is to get the sells to align. Note that they sold everything, which is really strange. It just doesn't make any sense why they'll do that to every single thing. But I speculated that we were undergoing quite a lot of noise in FX because they were creating a trap on indices and risk. So they might have purposely made FX very choppy in order just to confuse the retail guys. And because we look at FX as traders, and if we're going to see a lot of indecision in that, it's going to take our attention away from indices, and that's where the real money lies. Like the directional fear, and so it might have been like a ruse to confuse people, and we can see a direct consequence of that confusion in this dynamic shift. They sold everything, and it doesn't make any sense why they would do that. It's just bizarre. So that's very unusual. For me to see that, that's just like, whoa, that's just really weird. And that, I think that's because the retail guys are really confused right now. And it might be like a subterfuge to divert attention away from the indices. And so maybe. So that's just the thing, just to say on the 1st of August, the Quasidb code is going to lose its power, and it will cost you $31 a month with the code. Currently it's at $10, so I would get an annual plan with this Quasidb code. It makes sense, otherwise you would spend $31 a month. So they're getting absolutely completely destroyed quite early on in the day, to be honest with you. They're getting destroyed on, fully destroyed on New Zealand dollar, and they're getting pretty destroyed on everything else, apart from yen and euro, but still it's not bad, 4 out of 6. So this just tells us that they're being crushed, which would be normal. So they shorted the Kiwi, and technical were up quite a lot. Actually, it's quite bullish. So they sell it, price comes up, right? And that's how it works. So they sell it, price comes up, and they buy it, price goes down, right? And so pound yen has now been kicked out the QDB Discord server. I don't want it anymore. It's horrible, it's nasty, and it doesn't even agree with the technical or sentiment. So that's out. So it's a 24 pip loss. We won't see it again, I don't think, unless someone really wants to put it back in, but it's just a pain. And so it's what's caused it 2 negative days in a row, simply just because of pound yen, and we've got BOE later, so we don't want to be trading that at all, really. Technical check, so what are we looking at? Euro is neutral, pound is neutral, so we won't be getting any signals there. Dollar Swiss is sell, we might potentially go to strong sell. Dollar Swiss is neutral, AU strong buy, so we might get AU. It all depends on the bubbles, of course, and we had the signal as well, Kiwi. BOE basically, and then the data in the US, but this is all eyes on this, and they're talking 50 basis point hike, but I don't think they're going to exceed that. That'll be that will shake the markets too much. And so that's that. So be careful. And I think this week I was quite happy to be out actually, because the markets were pretty horrendous. I think it was a ruse to divert our attention away from indices and to cause confusion. So you've got BOE, there's my links, and there's a Discord, so do click that, join us, you won't regret it. And just quickly look at the indices very, very quickly. And we made a sell on S&P, see where they're going long. They could sell it, so we've got to be careful. And they're short in the German 30. So this is a fake candle. This is a fake candle currently. It's trying to induce shorts. So we might want to see a break of this, and then that should cement the deal. So we know if it's fake by looking at the sentiment. All right, so ask me if you've got any queries about that. Let's look at US 30. Oh gosh, where are we? There we are. And yes, I want to wrap up now. So we were going to potentially make a sell there, but they're going to sell it. So this looks like it might be a ruse here. We don't want them to be buying this dip. We want them to be selling it, especially if we're so close to the 21 moving average. See how the buy occurred? They sold it here, and we got that huge move. So we don't want them to be buying it. Get a copy of this, Trading Station. It'll revolutionise your trading experience, and you won't have to ask me if X is a buy or a sell, because you can see it, right? And I can't be monitoring everything all the time. It's just impossible. So have a great day, BOE, be careful, and I'll speak to you tomorrow as well. And keep an eye on the bubbles as well, the bubble trade today. And for you public viewers, you won't be seeing the bubbles anymore, but you can join us in Discord if you wanted to, and you can get access to the bubbles that way.